Now, I could use the most conventional explanation of the importance of the NBA playoffs to people and the reason for fans' intense passion. I could utilize phrases like, it's the best of the best playing each other. Everything leads to this point, and the whole world is watching. While I essentially agree that these are the reasons for the playoffs being what they are, I also want to take a deeper dive into why the playoffs incite such a strong emotional reaction from fans and players alike, and why trivial moments from these games stick with us even decades later. And I can start with the playoff series that took place a couple of years ago. In the 2010-11 NBA season, the Philadelphia 76ers were a very young team with a new head coach, Doug Collins. The team in past years were mediocre at best, but in 2010, things were looking to change. Through the development of young players like Lou Williams, Evan Turner, Jrue Holiday, and Andre Iguodala, the team was able to sneak into the playoffs as the 8th seed. But before them stood a team that they had no business being in the same building with. The 2010 Miami Heat were the most anticipated team in league history, and they did not disappoint. LeBron James' decision as the best player in basketball to join up with one of the most dominant players in the league in D. Wade and also another great all-star in Chris Bosh sent shockwaves through the NBA. The Heat were immediately seen as an unbeatable, immovable force that would govern the NBA for years. Titles were seen for them in the foreseeable future. The Sixers were thought to be nothing more but a mere warm-up for the Heat, and for the most part, people were right. The Heat won a quick 3 games in a best-of-7 series, and the Sixers looked all but done. But in Game 4, something changed. Through great coaching from their head coach Doug Collins, the Sixers were able to keep the game close, and in the final seconds, this happened.
Wade stumbles. Evan Turner, the rookie, has it. 10 seconds to go. Doug wants him to shoot. Williams for 3 in the lead.
All right.
Now, while the Sixers did go on to lose the series, getting blown out in Game 5, they were able to lay the groundwork for one of the most amazing final stories ever. They showed the world that the Heat could indeed lose. And later on that year in the finals, Dirk was able to put them away. The playoffs has given us moments that seem like they were straight out of a movie. Whether it was Reggie Miller scoring 8 points in a mere 9 seconds.
Right. He does get it to Reggie, who squares. Boom, baby! And hits the 3 from the high left, cutting the New York lead in half. Pacers still need some help. Oh, he threw it away. Reggie for 3. Boom, baby! It's a tie ball game. Unbelievable!
Kobe Bryant putting the Lakers on his back, drilling game winner after game winner.
A 1-point game. Walton can tip it. Bryant with the save.
Oh, you got to get a shot here.
Final seconds. Bryant for the win. Bang!
Or MJ simply proving time and time again that the playoffs were his canvas and no one's delivering a masterpiece like him.
Michael double teamed on the drive, in for the left, gets chased into the corner, comes right back. Through the foul! Wow!
Oh, powerhouse, JD.
There's a poster play.
And then there's a moment in 2016 that is perhaps one of the most beautiful, almost romantic moments in sports. But before we get to that, we still need to answer the question, why do we care? And well, it's pretty simple, to be honest. Our attachment to the players and teams derive from the trials and tribulations that we see them go through throughout the season. It could be easier if I explain it like this. On TV, we have countless shows of all genres. If you're looking for comedy, you may watch The Office. For action, The Mandalorian may be your go-to. And for a little bit of drama, you might cut on some Breaking Bad. And over the course of the season of said shows, multiple storylines may play out involving multiple characters. And as we get to the end of these seasons, the antics may get crazier, the explosions bigger, and the stakes higher. The playoffs are like this. We build relationships with players, coaches, even GMs and owners over the course of seasons that lead to us being heavily invested. And during the duration of 82 games, multiple intricate narratives are playing out in real time, from ex-teammates who are in a constant back and forth, to teams who want to rip each other's heads off, or in the case of the moment I was talking to you about before, LeBron was always meant to be a Cavalier. He was the chosen one from high school, and many from his town thought that he was going to finally bring a championship home. But while he was one of the most dominant players in the league, year after year after year, he kept losing in the playoffs. And as criticism started to come, and as a negative reputation was starting to be built for LeBron, LeBron's character development was happening before our very eyes. Then after a brutal defeat from the hands of the Celtics, LeBron scheduled a press conference.
The answer to the question everybody wants to know. LeBron, what's your decision?
In this fall, man, this is very tough. In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
Miami Heat. That was the conclusion you woke up with this morning.
That was the conclusion I woke up with this morning.
He went to South Beach, and Cleveland hated him for it. Fans burned his jersey. The owner hurled egregious insults at him. In his one stomping grounds, where he was king, he was now a villain. And to rub salt in most fans' wounds, in Miami, all he did was win. Or did he? LeBron went on to lose 2 out of the next 4 finals. And utterly defeated, he had only one place to go.
And we'll get to that in a few minutes. But the biggest sports story here in America is, of course, LeBron James' decision to return to Cleveland after 4 years and 2 NBA championships in Miami.
And with this, once again, came with the challenge of bringing Cleveland their first championship. But there was a team in the West that wasn't going to give it up easy. Steph Curry and the Warriors were looking to have the NBA on lock for the next couple of years. After beating LeBron in their first final matchup in 2015, in 2016, they only looked better, infamously beating the 95-96 Bulls record for most wins in a season. And when the finals came in 2016, the Cavs looked all but defeated. The Cavs were now down 3-1. LeBron simply looked outmatched by the younger Curry, despite having a healthy Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving. Before him stood a task that no team before him had conquered. You see how I did that? Through multiple playoffs, I was able to craft a narrative for just one player and a couple of teams. This is the beauty of postseason play. Every basket matters because every player, coach, team matters in the playoffs. Multiple years of development make each moment carry immense substance. We only care about this shot because it could have been his last.
Jordan. Open. Chicago with the lead.
We only care about this scene because he was not just stepping over a player, but also the odds.
Iverson. Bothered by Lou. Iverson.
How about that?
Steps over Tyronn Lue.
7 straight points by Iverson. Looked like he was dead in the water.
The Sixers by 4.
And this was not just any block, but was a man giving a city a chance to see glory for the first time in decades.
Picked off by Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala to the rim. Blocked by
great
James.
block.
James out of nowhere, skies to the rim. He bats it away, and J.R. Smith recovers.
And this shot was the nail in the coffin.
Irving and Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good! Kyrie Irving from downtown!
This is why the playoffs matter. It gives us the chance for a measurable payoff. We want to have that chance to be a part of something that seems bigger than us. LeBron gave that to us in 2016. Kyrie gave that to us in 2016. And we watch every year just for the chance to be a part of something like that again. That's why the NBA is where amazing happens.